Righto. Good morning, everybody. It's Saturday. Oh, October. We're about halfway through October already. It's unbelievable. It's 9:10 in the morning on a Saturday. Lovely to see you. The winter is here. We've got our winter warmers on. Look, watch a cup of tea. Tom Beresford. Hello, gorgeous. Lovely to see you. I'm banned from Facebook for another 90 days. I'm pretty much done with Facebook anyway. Oh, my glasses are steamed up with my cup of tea there. Look. Now, I want you to share this, right? I want you to share the information that I'm just about to give you. It's gold dust, right? You've got to pay attention. Paul Anthony French. Hello, Gorge. How are you? Karen Campbell. Oh, yeah. I'm all good, Tom, I think. Yeah, compared to all the others. Eddie Goldtooth. Oh, bruv, I was chatting to me and my old mate Wes. We had a right old chat last Saturday about this and that. And he's a gorgeous dude. And he goes to me, he said, you know, my Uncle Dave. I said, I don't know as if I do. He said, you do? He said, Eddie Goldtooth. I went, blokey? He went, yeah. I went, the geezer's electric. I said, your Uncle Ed is the nuts. I love him. Couldn't believe it. Knocked me socks off. He's gorgeous. Saskia, how you doing, doll? Love it. I've got to put Saskia's profile picture up. She is, I tell you what a pretty lady she is. Oh, check her out. Beautiful. But she's sitting there going, Dave, I've not even put my rouge on this morning. What are you chatting about? Because it's early. I imagine you're up and out, Saskia. I imagine you've been up early and you're all funky fresh and that. Anyway, look, I've got some fantastic information to bring you today, ladies and gentlemen, about the equalities. I don't like using Acts of Parliament, but oh, stop it. Oh, you're so saucy you are. Eddie Goldtooth, mate, I'm loving you. Still in bed, are you? Oh, morning, boyo. I'm Ben Dow. Everybody is finished with, anyway, it's Babish. Yeah. Oh, this geezer, right? Louise Hampton. She's former nurse, telling it how it is. Bearing in mind, we've only got 2 people in Pembury with COVID juice, right? Only 2. The whole COVID ward, there's 2 people on there, apparently with COVID juice. I'd love to know the ages of these people as well, by the way. Not as I'm discriminating against anybody, because we're going to be talking about discrimination in a second. This is gold dust this morning, ladies and gentlemen. Let me tell you, it's going to be gold dust. You're going to love this. I've forgotten my train of thought already. I'm so excited. Yeah, so we have to do what we've got to do. Morning, haha. She's still in bed, Saskia. Oh, yeah, look, she's still in bed. Yeah. So, look. Oh, that was it. Louise. I've just been on Louise Hampton's profile. And she's gorgeous and all. She's lovely. She's out there without a mask. She's not being no Zorro. And some geezer on her has just got on her profile, put your fucking mask on, wear your fucking mask, do as you're fucking told. And I'm like, mate, you sound like a right fascist. I can't stand anybody telling anybody what to do. Does that make sense? Anybody, whether they're in government, the police, selling ice creams, if they're telling you what to do, I don't like that, because we're all equal. And we're going to be talking about the Equalities Act in a second, right? And a real dramatic situation that's just happened with an ironmonger company in Maidstone, Dan Gabriel's ill, called Robert Dyas, right? Now, I'm not going to mention my mate's name because he's very, very well known in the truther movement. Very, very well known. But all I will say is he's just had Robert Dyas's pants down for not letting him in the shop without having a face nappy on. All right? In the tune of 1,200 quid out of court settlement. Right? Bosh. Now, we're going to screen share a second. Hang on a sec. Here we go. Lovely to see you, ladies and gentlemen, this morning. Saskia's still in bed. Yeah, she's still in bed. I don't blame her either. It's chilly out there. It's right chilly. So, this is the government website. If you want to know anything about the government and what these corrupt bastards are doing, you'll find it all on here. delivered to you by the National Archives. What that is, Lord only knows. But this is the Equalities Act of 2010. All right. Socio-economic equalities, public sector duty regarding socio-economic equalities and enforcement. Equalities, key concepts, the protected characteristics, AIDS, disability, gender reassignment. Is that where you go somewhere else to pick your bits up? When you've been reassigned? I'm reassigning you to Devon. You're in London. Go. Does it mean you have to go elsewhere to pick your bits up? I don't know. Marriage and civil partnership, race, religion or belief. Well, for me, religion and beliefs have been nutted. I think, well, especially in America, there's a pastor out there called Pastor Greg, who, when I say this geezer gets millions and millions of views, he's on fire for the Lord. Let me tell you, I mean, on fire. And he said that they're going to be turning all the power off to the churches. He said, because the churches are preaching the word and freedom and liberty and all that good stuff like good Christians should do. I'm a good Christian, by the way. And the companies and the government have said, well, if you're going to continue to fill your churches with people and preach the word about not wearing face nappies and not bowing down and sucking corporate dick, we're going to turn the power off. So if churches are cold, maybe you have to maybe start a bonfire in the middle. I don't know. Maybe put little guy fawkes up. Maybe have a little few flames around it. Just give a bit of heat off. Who knows? I don't know. But that's what they're talking about. So religion and belief is, your belief should be everything. If you believe that God is a box of frogs and he lives in the corner, but you're happy with it, you should be left alone. You should be left alone. You shouldn't, like my mate Mark James is currently has been chucked into a sectioned thing for 28 days, they reckon, but he could be in there a lot longer, although he is blessed. Let me tell you, he's such a cool cucumber. But why is he in there? Is it because he's flashed his willy at someone? No. Is it because he's flashed his boobs at someone? No. Is it because he's gone round with a penknife and tried to stick it up someone? No. Has he tried to throw a petrol bomb from someone's door like an MP or that? No. None of this. What's his crime? His crime is speaking his truth. His tongue, his words of what he said to the police people in the police station, because they're all bigoted, they're all have a certain slant. You're not allowed to go against the Führer. How dare you question? Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I was brought up and I was told to question everything. My mum and dad always said to me, make sure you got your eyes open in this world because it'll have your pants down. It really will. The Bible says, I set you out as sheep amidst the wolves. And let me tell you, you have been certainly cast out as sheep amidst the wolves. I'm telling you. So anyway, religion or belief, does it matter anymore? It should do. Your belief really should matter, because whilst you're here on this earth, your belief system is basically the value. That is your value. Your core beliefs, your moral compass is what makes you valuable. All right. It's not money. Money doesn't make you valuable. Big houses, big cars is not what makes you valuable. What makes you valuable to this world is your core belief system in decency. And if you look at each other and you all respect each other, and that is pretty much what this Equalities Act is all about. Okay. So Robert Dyas, let me come back in so I can see what you guys are saying and chuck some comments up. Let's chuck this one. Oh, hello. Got a bit slow here this morning. I'm Bendo. Bendell, you're right there, boy. They don't like the truth up. No, they don't like the truth up. Alan Walker. Hello, Gorge. Lovely to see you. Look at that, my mate Alan with his angel wings in there. And let me tell you, that boy does have angel wings. They can't stick it where it belongs, the dustbin. Yes. Do you remember Ted Rogers, Dusty Bin? I met that woman. The Ted Rogers girl, the one that done 3-2-1. I met her. She's a mate of my missus's. When I met my missus 20 years ago, there was 30 of them on a hen party from Bristol, and I met her out one night in a bar, and we had a little chat, got a bit saucy, a little chit chat, and that. I said, "Oh, I like you." She said, "I think you're all right too." I said, "Yeah, I feel all right, Well, I felt like I'd known her for a long time. It was really weird, bizarre feeling. And the next day I went there, they was all round the pool. She texted me, she went, "Oh, come find us, we're round the pool." And she's the only one with a bra on, all the other girls, and I thought, oh, I like her, she's got something nice about her. So that was 20 years ago. But yeah, she was there with a Ted Rogers Dusty Bin girl. And then my missus at the time, when I was trying to call her up, she jumped in the swimming pool, and I thought I'd do 2.5 with pipe just to impress her. Landed on my back, and she said, "Oh, don't splash my face." I couldn't splash the face. Don't put my head under. And I cannot put her head underwater, right? Not even under the duvet will she have it. She won't have it. She will. I find it. Don't splash my face. That's my miss. She can't stand it. Yeah. So I have to respect her beliefs and that, because otherwise I'm upsetting her and I'm having a dig at her, and we shouldn't do that. We should just be respectful of each other. So if someone says, "I don't want to wear a mask," you can't. How can you force someone to do something against their will? That's the big story about this, right? The big story is and by the way, the people of Liverpool are standing up big time. Liverpool is a test case. They're trying to roll out this military thing. The police are the military, by the way. I don't know if I want to piss on anyone's cornflakes this morning, but the military in this country is the police farce, right? The weapons, the way they are, they're all ex-service people. They are just an extension of the military. They're not an independent police service anymore. They are the force. The army's a force. They're a force. They are unbelievable. So, my friend a few weeks ago walked into Maidstone with his kids. He went to go into Robert Dyas, and they said, "Where's your face nappy?" He says, "I don't have one." "Why not?" I just don't have to have one. I'm exempt. I don't need to do none of this. "Well, you're not coming in our shop." And here's the point. The point is this. Robert Dyas now know that it's very, very easy to take these companies to court and sue them under the Equalities Act, because he sent a letter before action, right? Before court, a little letter in the post saying, "Listen, Robert Dyas, down Gabriel's Hill in Maidstone, big plug. You have discriminated against me and my family and embarrassed me in front of people. And you can't do that under this Act of Parliament, blah, 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 blah." Talk about bang to rights. Well, Robert Dyas wrote back and said, really sorry about that. How's about we settle for 1,200 quid out of court? How's about that? So he went, "Well, yeah, why not? Because under the Equalities Act, they can be sued for up to £9,000. Okay? And it wasn't about the money. It was about, and if I know my mate who's got the 1,200 quid, he'll probably be going out and giving a bit of that and food to the homeless. I bet he's doing something quite courageous with that 1,200 quid. I bet he is. Right? Fair play to the Scousers. Absolutely right, Ed. Let me tell you, mate, proper fair play to the Scousers. Karen Campbell. Now, listen, peeps, if you want a giggle at a profile picture, just check Karen's profile picture out. She is so, I love that. She's got a little orangutan there. It's going, "Ooh, have some of that." So, yeah, Robert Dyas now know the feeling. Now, the point is this. It's not the fact that Robert Dyas has just had to pay out 1,200 quid to him. It's the fact that all of Robert Dyas's staff now will have been pulled into a quick meeting in the morning and told, if someone wants to come into this shop without a mask on, you don't question them, because that was probably a fair old chunk of their day's profit. All right? Do you understand what I'm saying? So you could actually make a living out of this. And I don't blame you, because the thing is this. These corporations love money. They will smash your back door in, kick your house in, nick your kids for money, right? So, as a leveller, why not? Why not? And this money, we know the monetary system's all foobarred. We know that it's just a promise to pay. But nonetheless, if you all around the country and around the world now start going out without your face nappies on, and every shop that you get going into that refuses you, you just take a picture of the individual, picture of the shop, and the time and the date, and then you send them a pre-action letter. You refuse me entrance today. This goes against the equalities stuff. This is discrimination. Here's the law that says you can be fined up to £9,000. All right. Here we go. And then they'll all start settling out of court with you. Now, if 2% or 1% of the country started doing this, before you know it, your high streets and the shops, they'd have ballerinas on the front door. Who's that just reversing into my driveway? I don't know who this is. Good job I've got security cameras. I was turning around. Cheeks just turned around in my driveway. I'm only teasing. Yeah, sucks. I've got to pull off the road. Kent police love it, by the way. They love jumping my gates. Oh, they do the limbo down here. They love PC Kirkby of Kent police. He flew over my gates like limpid Christie. I'm like, you doing the hurdle, son? What's going on here? Unbelievable. So the point is this. You get out there, you film them, you take pictures, you get their address, you write to them, the CEO, the manager, whoever, you get their details and you say, right, you discriminated against me. Here's the discrimination and disabilities thingy. Here's the section. You can be fined up to all this dosh. What are you going to do about it? Because I'm going to go all the way with this. And as soon as they get that, they're going to go, oh, we didn't know this. We've dropped a bollock. We've just been told that we've got to do this. Well, listen, if they want to just do what they're told by the government without checking it out, that's up to them, because they should be standing on their own personal liability, right? 1,200 quid. Boom. One letter. Yeah. If you go out, yeah, go out. You go round to 5 shops in a day. You can't come in. You can't come in. Right, bosh. Direct discrimination. Look, combined discrimination, dual characteristics, discrimination arising from disability. That would probably be what you're not wearing a face nappy would be, wouldn't it? Because you're telling them you're exempt, which to them is a direct thingy saying I've got a disability. Yeah, Bob's your uncle. 5 in a day, 1,200 quid each, 6 grand a day. People get out there and start making a living at it. Before you know it, you could be living you could have a Ferrari at the end of the year. Why not? These corporations are smashing the granny out of you. Get in there, make them have it. Share this video. Tell your friends and family. You get discriminated against, you put a letter before action into the company and say, on such and such a day, you went against the Disabilities Act. Is the maximum fine once it goes to court and you ain't got a leg to stand on, all right, because this is the law. You've discriminated against me. They're going to write back and say, let's have an out-of-court settlement. Here you go. There's 1,200 quid. Stick that in your pocket. Bosh. It's how we win, people. We win by using our brains. We win by using our brains. Hypoxia. Yeah, hypoxia is hypoxia is when your blood gas levels when you breathe, you breathe in. You breathe it. Tunes. Remember tunes? A lovely advert on the telly. I used to love a packet of tunes. Mum say, get a packet of tunes on the way to school. You've got a chesty cough. I used to eat them on the way to school, the old packet. Yeah, weren't supposed to. Used to feel good when I got there. Sugar rush. Come on. So you breathe in and you're supposed to breathe out carbon dioxide, right? And carbon dioxide is a noxious gas. It's like carbon monoxide, but carbon monoxide's a little bit tastier. Carbon monoxide, if you get carbon monoxide poisoning, which is carbon dioxide is carbon, 2 parts oxygen. Carbon monoxide is carbon, 1 part oxygen. Yeah, you didn't know I was a scientist, did you? You didn't know I was a Brian Cox of the university. You just never knew this stuff, did you? No. So anyway, carbon monoxide sinks you out. If you're in a house and there's carbon monoxide roaming around, it will find you. And carbon monoxide could get you over a period of an hour, 10 minutes, 3 weeks. Depends on the dilution. Depends on how much there is in your body. See, what your body will do, it will take it in. And what it does, it changes the hemoglobin of your blood. It makes your blood cells, which are supposed to, I can't do that without putting them 3 fingers up before you all get carried away. Your blood is round. You got round. But what happens is when you get carbon monoxide, they go like a submarine. They go long and elongated. And if you get consumed by it, you'll start feeling sick. So if you're in a room with carbon monoxide and you start thinking, oh, I don't feel too good here. The minute you try and exert yourself to get out of the room or open the window or do whatever is normally the point at where people collapse and die. Yeah, if they don't get immediate help and that room continues to fill with carbon dioxide, they're pretty much dead. And what it does is it makes you go bright pink. All right, you go like you've been on the Costa del Sol for a day without any max factor on, without sploshing it all over. Now, I don't use sun creams at all. I use natural oils, carrot oil. And when I walk down the beach with me tight budgie smugglers on, people go, "Oh, you smell so good." I say, "I smell like a coconut." And they go, "Yeah, funnily enough, you do." And they're going, "God, look at him glistening up there like Adonis." I go, "Well, can't help it. It's just natural." So that's the point. But carbon dioxide, obviously, has got 2 parts of oxygen, but you're breathing it back in and you're giving yourself hypoxia. I wore a mask yesterday in a loft space because I was putting a new shower feed into this. I had to go back to get some fittings. It was a lot. I was only there an hour, but it was a right little tight corner. They've got all that yellow lagging stuff everywhere. And if you ever get that in your pants, ladies, you'll be doing the okey cokey on the dance floor before you can say boo to a goose. This stuff gets everywhere. It gets up your sleeves. You know the stuff I'm talking about, the loft insulation. It drives me crazy. So I put my mask on and I'm laid on my chest. I'm leaning forward into the eaves of these rafters, trying to get these fittings out and cut this pipe out. I'm having the right time. I'm up there cursing like a bitch. I should have had a swear box with me. Because it was hurting my chest, laying on my chest and doing all this with the thing. And my boobs were getting squashed. So I got the mask on because of this stuff. And while I'm doing it, I'm getting laboured. I can feel myself going, it's not good for you. I had a really bad lung infection caused by wearing a mask all day at my work. Here you go. Testimonies. This is just the truth. People just sharing truths with you. Never again. It lasted 6 months. There you go. Lung infection, 6 months. And I wouldn't mind betting that most of these people now that are going down with this illness or whatever it is that's out there are causing their own conditions by wearing these masks. And also, I think that the WHO, the World Health Organization, that Donald Trump has shunned and kicked in the balls, don't sponsor. America don't sponsor the WHO no more. They've jumped on top of Bill Gates and said, "No, we're not having this." Trump is quite a switched-on individual. So America doesn't fund the WHO no more. And they were the biggest sponsor of the WHO. And I think England should follow suit. But the WHO now have done a 360 and said, actually, this isn't really that bad. So, you know, if there was the evidence of this being a proper like Spanish flu pandemic, 50 million, you'd have bodies everywhere. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, you and your children would have no other option but to be faced with death from families and households on a daily basis. People living in tower blocks will be throwing their dead out the windows in collection bins and off they'd be going. You just couldn't cope with the amount of stuff, the amount of dead people that come with a pandemic or epidemic. But clearly we're not seeing this because the NHS, with 2 people in it, and a massive private NHS trust hospital in Pembury. Can you hear me clicking my pen? 2 people. Oh, I spilt my tea. Celotex dust is bad too. Yeah, that gets on you. Pretty much made of the same sort of thing, the little fibres. Yeah, good point. I mean, you've got to be careful with this stuff. So if you're breathing back in your own exhalements, you're supposed to be giving off stuff, you know? It's why we have trees. Trees clean up our atmosphere. If we was to chop every tree down in this land, right, we'd probably be dead within a few days. If there was no trees left on this planet to clean up the atmosphere, Lord knows how they do it. It's very clever. They release carbon dioxide at certain times of the day. A tree does a certain thing, you know. So anyway, look, the point of this video this morning was Robert Dyas in Maidstone. If any of you live in Kent and you need some ironmongery, like ironing covers, irons, plates, cutlery, all that sort of stuff, things to do with the kitchen, microwaves, kettles, all that. Robert Dyas is a massive shop down on the right-hand side at the bottom of Gabriel's Hill. If you know it, put your hands up. If you don't, maybe have a trip down there. Because I promise you now, if you go to that shop today, Saturday, and you don't have a mask on, I'll bet you your bottom dollar that you will not be questioned. Why? Because their staff now will be going, this is costly. This is costly. Do you understand what I'm saying? The ocean absorbs lots of CO2. Morning, Mikey. How are you, gorgeous? Lovely to see you. You back home now? Or are you still in Verbier? It gets about, my mate. It's the right posh dude. Yes, Karen Campbell says yes, definitely. Yeah, so that's where we're at. I'll share it again for you so you can have a look at it. This is, I don't like Acts of Parliament myself because they only pertain to the person. And if you consider yourself a person in the Bible, then you're a sinner and you transgress the law. So we are where we are with all of that. That's why I read the Bible. It's a very opening, uplifting book if you read it properly. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is the UK. We know the UK is a corporation. This is a General Act of 2010, Equalities Act 2010, and it talks about discrimination, etc., etc. So this is what my friend used in his pre-action letter, telling Robert Dyas that they've discriminated against him, and here's the fines and fees once found upon conviction that they've actually discriminated against you. We know how this discrimination stuff works between people of different skin colours. They get into a bit of a beef and it goes to court, and so you've discriminated against me, and for you know there's £100,000 flying here, there, everywhere. We know it's all just a bit of a piss take, but it is what it is, right? But this is what he's used. He's just used the law as the government sees it. Off to Switzerland tomorrow, but be back by Wednesday. Cool, that is a quick trip, isn't it? Oh, I think they're coming there. I think I'm done. I think this is the second time around. Oh no, it's another Dennis. Oh, who was it the other day said that they see an ambulance flying through their town with their blues and twos on? So they thought, well, I'll just tag this one for a bit. And it pulls into a McDonald's car park through the drive-in. And I don't know if the individual in the back there that was probably fighting for his life said, look, before I die, I got a last wish. I want a Big Mac meal. Can I have one? Maybe they pulled in. But whipping down the road, blues and twos. Woo, woo, woo. Hang on, I'm hungry. And they both, because obviously you've only got two people in a ambulance, and they both pull into McDonald's and go through the drive-through. You can't make this shit up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, Karen. Shall bring you back a nice peppermint rock. Oh, sounds lovely. Thank you, kind sir. Yeah, Mikey Reynolds, good buddy of mine, lives just around the corner. And he will probably attest to you as well that we actually get a shit internet service around here. People have kindly offered. So, Dave, I need to come down your house and sort your internet out. It's not clever. Well, let me tell you. Some people I was working for yesterday down the road in a big barn, they've had more engineers out than Stephen Hawkins, with bigger brains than Stephen Hawkins, and their internet's still shit. There's nothing they can do. It's just how it is around here. We've just got terrible internet. This is the dark ages. Where we live is pretty much dark ages. All right. So yeah, guys and girls, if you're being accosted by this and you're finding it offensive, the Equalities Act of 2010 clearly has just been put down on a pre-action letter. My mate's gone, you discriminate against me, wouldn't let me in the shop. Here's the times, the dates, the pictures, whatever. I'm now going to take you to court. So Robert Dyas has wrote back and said, oh, we don't really want to do this. We didn't know this, probably. As about a £1,200 settlement. Yeah, send it through. Let's have it. You want me to come down and pick it up in 10s, 20s? Or are you going to send me a check? We're going to do backs. What are you going to do? How are you going to do this? But I guarantee you that Robert Dyas in Maidstone today, their employees will be stood up against the wall and told specifically, if you mention about a face mask to anybody today, I'm going to slap your ass. I betcha. So I thought I'd come and share that with you this morning, ladies and gentlemen. You need to tell your friends and your families all about this. This is powerful. Because we got all in Liverpool, which is a test at the moment, the military, the police, 7 firearmed officers the other day picking on some guys in the gym, some beefy lads. Clearly told the police they weren't going to shut down. The police said, we're going to fine you then. Lovely when your government can fine you, isn't it? What are you living in? Jack boots? Where's the jackboots? Come on, I need to see these jackboots. Where are they? You should never live in a country where the government can fine you for anything. Shouldn't be able to fine you for nothing. They should just be there to pick up the pieces when something happens. Yeah, that's what public servants chose to do. Public servants chose to pick up the pieces when bad stuff happens, you know, and that's what they should be doing. Just about to get on the train, see what scumbag in uniform, and you try, yeah, just tell them. Say, my mate just had a £1,200 out of court settlement for discrimination under the Equalities Act. Do you want to? Shall I put you down? I might need to pop the Robert Dyas near me. Yeah, go down there, see what happens. And just tell him, so my mate's just sued Robert Dyas for out of court £1,200 for discrimination under the Equalities Act 2010. Here it is. Have a look. Bosh. You go in there and get what you like, mate. Help yourself. Many train workers aren't wearing masks. Bob's your uncle. People in shops behind counters. Put your mask on. You ain't got a fucking mask on. What are you chatting about? Banned from Facebook now, ladies and gentlemen. 90-day ban. Something I did apparently back in April. I'm so naughty. Bearing in mind I was still banned back in April. They put me on a 90-day ban back in April, which I didn't see on Facebook. So that's me done now with Facebook. They can kiss my butt cheeks. Another 3 months. So that'll be this year. I'll be banned for 6 months on Facebook. You can't work it out, can you? All because I won't talk from the postage stamp mentality. All because I try my hardest to stand up for people and maybe bring a little bit of education and light to their lives. On Twitter, I am on Twitter. I tweet all day. I'm twittering. Yeah, I don't really tweet on Twitter. I just look. I watch what Trump's doing on Twitter. Trump's got over 50 million Twitterers, all tweeting away, watching what Trump's doing. And Trump himself, you know, he's sending some reverberations around the world, and he's telling everyone this COVID's nothing. Don't worry about it. Carry on hugging, kissing, doing what you like. Don't let it get you down. Don't let it change the world. So Trump is sending the deep state cabal a very clear message. Great info as usual, matey. Noisy Tone. How are you, darling? Lovely to see you. Yeah, Tone. My mates, you'd know him, but I'm not going to mention his name. He's very well known on social media. And he's just done Robert Dyas. They've discriminated against him and said, no, you ain't coming in. You've not got a face nappy on. He said, well, I'm far too handsome and devilishly good looking to wear a mask. Why would I want to spoil what God gave me? And they said no, but now they found out the hard way that they've discriminated against him, and he's done a pre-action letter to them, you know, saying, well, your choice, we're going to court, you discriminated against me, here's, upon conviction, what you can face, $9,000. And they've gone, oh, we might have dropped one here. That's about a £1,200 out of court settlement, full and final amount, yeah? Well, yeah, why not? Let's have it. Come on. Bring it in. So it just shows you, if everyone started doing this up and down their high streets and their shops and wherever, all around the country, this mask wearing zombie nation would disappear in an instant, because always follow the money. If you want to get to the bottom of anything that's going on in this world, whether it's the banking sector, whether it's police corruption, whether it's corruption in corporations, anything within councils, the scoundrels, follow the money. That's all you have to do. Follow the money, because the money is what's driving these people. The copper that jumped my gate the other week, what drove him to jump them gates and help this assailants, these bailiffs, and cause a tortious act against me? Money. That was all. If I'd have phoned the police and said I'd just been burgled, no, we won't come out for that no more. Ring your insurance company. Oh, that's handy. Oh, that's well lively. Thank you. We don't wear nappies in our house. Happy days, Mikey. I'm thinking about taking my work up for discrimination. Yeah, you should, Alan. A letter, a pre-action letter. Here you go. Here's the Disabilities Equality Act 2010. Yeah, I'll give you another look at it. Bosh. This is the Equalities Act. I have got the thing on my phone. In one part it can be up to £900, and then the other one is up to £9,000. So best part of £10,000 for so you know, protected characteristics. So under the Equalities, which is an act of Parliament, which they all work to, then really and truthfully it should be. Let's have a look at your protected characteristics, shall we? Let's have a look. So the following characteristics are protected: age, disability, gender reassignment, marriage and civil partnership, pregnancy and maternity, race, religion or beliefs, which is you won't wear one because of your belief and your religion. Okay. Certainly not your sexual orientation. Well, don't think so. But that's what I would be saying to them. You know, you're going against my faith and beliefs. Let's have a look at this one. Failure to comply with the duty for disabled. Just it's a disability. You know, you've got a little disability there. Don't have to prove nothing. Failure to comply. A failure to comply with the first, second, or third requirement is a failure to comply with duty to make reasonable adjustments. A discriminates against a disabled person. Here we go, the word person again. If A fails to comply with that duty in relation to that person. So they failed. Yeah, they've listened to you, obviously, and you've told them the reasons why you won't wear a mask. And they failed to accommodate you. And they have a duty, yeah, in relation to that. So, you know, I'd be making them have it. I would send them a pre-action letter, and then say, you know, if we can't sort this out with this, then off to court we go, because I've got the law on my side, mate. Victimisation. Let's have a look at victimisation. They've victimised against you, haven't they? Caused you a tortious act. Victimisation. A person victimises against another. So that's what they've done. They've victimised against you because of your faith and belief. A belief A believes that B has done or may do a protected act. So that's quite powerful, this thing here, because a protected act means they can't discriminate against you. So you believe that the other parties, and so if they've discriminated against you, and under this act it's a protected, then they're really on a sticky wicket, aren't they? Giving false evidence or information, making a false allegation is not protected act in the evidence given or the allegation is made in bad faith. Yeah, I'd go for them. I would. Yeah, why not? Why not? Why not? Oh, you couldn't see that, could you? You couldn't see that. Hang on. You couldn't see that. So, yeah, this is it. This is it, the Equalities Act 2010. And this is what my friends used against Robert Dyas, and they've come back straight away and said, oh, crikey, here you go, 1,200 quid. If we just deal with this right here, right now. And he went, thank you very much. What are we talking about? Mental health, Dave. Hey. Kirk Brown. Have you a template for the pre-action letter, Dave, or can I print something off? Just, I can find out. Yeah, I spoke to my mate yesterday that a lady I do a lot of dealings with, who's very good with court stuff and barristers, and she's always in the courts in London, the royal courts. And she told me about what my friend had done. So I'll try and get the letter. But I would imagine it wouldn't have been too long. It would have probably just been, you know, you've discriminated against me by failure to accommodate through not wearing a mask and complying. Here's the law, the Equalities Act, that says you can't discriminate against me. So this is just a little pre-action before we go to court. And Bob's your uncle. They've come back straight away and said, oh, no, we don't want to go down that road. Here's 1,200 quid. Thanks for popping in. But I'll guarantee you, if you go to Robert Dyas today in Maidstone, Gabriel's Hill, for whatever it is, you want a pencil sharpener, whatever, just get in there. I guarantee you no one would challenge you on a mask. Why? Because they're like, oh, this is quite expensive. Get window shopping, folks. You might get paid for it. Yeah, mate, honestly, don't even get in an argument. You go into a shop, where's your face mask, Matt? No, I'm exempt. Don't. Right, you're not coming in. Righto. Picture of them, the time and the date, the shop. Who's the manager? Why is that? Well, I'm gonna sue you under the Equalities Act, and just leave it there and walk away, and then get your pre-action letters out, write to these companies, and get your out-of-court settlements. And what will it do? It will teach them that what they're doing is wrong, and what they're doing is wrong. Now, there's no evidence to suggest that this is a massive killer. I quite love my life. I do. I quite think that life still has magical powers, and it is a special thing to be in a body, a soul in a body, to be experiencing all the things that we experience in this world. I do truly believe it's still and can be a beautiful thing. But that's what we came here for. We came here to experience great and wonderful things. And I still like the majesty and the magical side of life. There are still a lot of good things that go on. However, when we're told what to do, we're not having a nice time, are we? We're not having a nice experience. So we have to question what's the point. But if I truly believe that this thing was a monster killer, and that in my village and the next village, where we've got a population of approximately 14,000 people, we have in my village 2,500 homes, and they're building new ones, but they're not selling, thank God, too well. They're trying to kill this village, actually. But there's 6,500 people, and the next village is about the same. So it's about 14,000 people between the two villages. We've lost one old boy, allegedly, to COVID-19. One. If, however, on the flip side, that I was seeing my neighbours throwing out their dead, sobbing, weeping, crying, the pungent smell of death. Do you know what death smells like? It's nasty. It's horrible. It's a real nasty stink. It's nasty. If I was smelling that in the air, I would not be going anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. I would have 3 masks on, yeah, to be sure. That's why the Irishman wears 3 condoms, to be sure. Bob's your uncle. What do you call the 3 degrees with vibrators? Wet. Job done. Beautiful group. I wouldn't be going nowhere. I would not be going nowhere. I'll be saying to my missus, you ain't going to work, you stay. I'll be dragging her out of her car and putting her indoors, saying, you ain't going to work. There's this thing out, it's killing everyone. I'd have food motors turning up outside the house, plonking all the food on the packets and just throwing it over the garden fence, and I'd go out there with me Febreze there, spray, and I'd be like, fuck off, you've got the plague, get out of here. Thanks for dropping it off, I've paid online. Yeah, we've been furloughed. Well, I thought that was someone going to races when I first heard that. Someone said to me, I've put my mates on furlough. I thought they've gone to races for the day. They've gone down to Lingfield Park or something. I'm thinking, fuck, they're going to be putting bets on this. What time period is this? So the point is this, right? If I genuinely was seeing that the world was in carnage, and that the National Health Service was overflowed, overwhelmed, overworked, underpaid, nurses' anuses were hanging out like handbags because they've been doing 90-hour shifts in the week, I'd have some like, fucking hell, they're working hard, man. They are. But the point is this, like I said yesterday, people called me out because they had a wet patch on the ceiling and it wasn't the dog that had pissed through the floorboards. So they rang me the day before and I said, yeah, all right, I'll come out and sort it out. So they're then thinking, booked a plumber in, he's coming to sort it out. Hopefully the ceiling won't come down. All right. I gets there, sorts it out for them. Because they've relied on me as my professionalism, right, in my service that I give. So none of them are now frustrated or upset because it's all been remedied. We've done it. And that's what the NHS is. The NHS is a remedy for you. All right. It is something that in your hour of need, Niall Bevan said, we need something that is free at the point of delivery, that we can all just breathe a sigh of relief. Now, my nan, bless her, she got to 96. She had a good old life. She was a tiny little old dot. She said to me, because when she was a kid, she had a poultice put on her chest to burn a fever out because she wouldn't have made it. She had pleurisy or something, one of these things when she was a child. And the doctor come round on the panel before the National Health Service and said to her mum and dad, look, she's really gravely ill. The only thing we can do is poultice her. So they put a poultice on my nan's chest, and it scarred her for life. She always used to pull her top down to me and show me her scar, just as a reminder. I used to go, flipping hell, man. So they burnt her fever off of her chest, and by the grace of God, she lived. And she got to a ripe old age, and I can feel her around me now because I'm talking about her. But the point is this. When the National Health Service cut, I mentioned this to her years ago. She said, we all breathed a sigh of relief. She said, my mum and dad used to pay a few coppers a week to be on a panel of a doctor. So poor families would pay a couple of pence a week or whatever it was, a couple of tanners, and have a doctor on a panel, right? That they'd come round. And I've got a little headstone here of my granddad's brother's son who passed away in 1942. He was only 6 months old. He got meningitis. And I've got his headstone. It was going to be crushed at Camberwell Cemetery. And I've got it just outside my office, little Terence. So, yeah, he was only 6 months old when he passed away. So life ebbs and flows, right? But the National Health Service was there so that we could rely on it, so that we had something solid, rock solid, like Ashford and Simpson, solid as a rock. So that when we needed it, and when we've cut our willy off in a mangle, got caught playing around, and the wife's come home and chopped it off a machete, you could hopefully go back and get it stitched on, right? If you've got a good surgeon with a steady hand. Have some of that. But we're seeing that the NHS has let us down. In truth, I know about clapping it. Why has it let us down? It's shut up shop. It's empty. There's no one really in there. You go to hospital today. If you're seeing the hospital, the doors open, people laying outside, nurses running around, not doing TikTok videos, then I'll take me out of here and I'll eat humble pie. But we're not seeing that. But that's what we should be seeing. We should be seeing the national health system overwhelmed. We should be seeing it absolutely exacerbated. We should be seeing people flying around everywhere in there. We should be seeing bodies stacked up and going off to burial pits. That's what happens in epidemic, pandemic. That's what happened in the plague. They just dug burial pits. And everyone would be going up there in the horse and cart, tip the horse and cart, bosh, ring a roses, ta-ta, right? The point is this. They've let us down. They've shut up shop. My friends can't get treatment for cancer. There's people dying at home without drugs and this, that, the other, without being seen. So the NHS, in the hour of need, when you actually really, really need it, and these people pledge their lives through their Hippocratic oaths to serve and protect, are they serving and protecting? Bearing in mind, they're all so keen on these masks that they will insist that you wear one. So surely they must be a good thing. No, you should laugh. You should laugh. Listen, everybody that's wearing these masks religiously, and I'm not having a go at them, they're in so much fear. Why are they in the fear? Because they're watching the BBC, they're listening to the radio, they're reading the newspapers. It's showing it to be absolute carnage. They're scared to come out their house. Some people come out their house and they're shaking. You can physically see the old people shaking, right? I walked past the chemist the other week. There must have been a queue of 18 people out there, and this old boy was stood outside his mask. I went, "You all right, mate?" He went, "No, I've been stood out here half hour." I said, "Oh, bless you." And I went in my shop, got me something. I come past, I cheered him up. I had a little bit of a giggle with him. And they're scared. They're really, really scared because they've been fear-driven by this propaganda machine. And I'm grateful to say that the propaganda machine's losing its grip. People ain't tuning into the BBC and that no more. They're turning their back on it. They're realising that it's a farce. But the point is this, they're all in total fear. So when your body's in fear, you start producing cortisol, stress hormone. You will naturally, your body will lose its defenses. You'll start having palpitations. For what? One individual in 2 villages allegedly dying of the coronavirus 1984. Come on, people. Come on. Time to see this for what it really is. BBC, aka the Jim Will Fix It fan club. Yes. Now then, boys and girls. Oh. Jesus. Yes, and that's awful. Old people need to get protected from the MSN government and their lies. They do. They really, really do. But the point is this, they're sat in front of their tellies. Now, I know my dad watches the BBC and he'd be like, fuck, I can't. I'm like, man, you're not living your lives. But why the National Health Service not overwhelmed? Why is Pembury Hospital not flat out? Why is not a car park not rammed full of cars? Why is the ambulances not out there flat out 24/7? Why are the nurses and doctors not got all red eyes because they've had no sleep for 3 weeks? Come on, people. It's time to wake up. It's time to see the truth. My friend went to Pembury yesterday. After she gave her a blood test, she's been having some breast augmentation and she had some cancers. And she's been going down giving blood to see what's going on in her blood. And she said, right, I'm going to go and see the staff, have a quick chat. And she said to them up on the desk, A&E, bomb, bomb, bomb. What's going on then? You know, how many people we got in with the Rona juice? And she said, 2. What? 2 people. Pandemic. You would think the way Boris Johnson, and the pub in Liverpool that's called the Three Bellends. Mate, inspirational. What a move. I imagine they're rampacked. They got a pub now called the Three Bellends. Boris Johnson, Matt Hancock, and Dominic Cummings with bells on their heads. I'd love to go there for a pint. Yeah, I would love to go and have an evening at the Three Bellends. Probably the most spiciest pub in the country. And it proves that there's other people out there with the mentality that I have. You've got to be spicy to even come up with that sort of stuff. Fair play to them. Out there, everyone's walking past. Where are you off to? I'm going to lunch, mate. Where to? I'm going to the Three Bellends. Oh, yeah, I've heard about that pub. Yeah, we're going down. You're coming down. They do pork scratchings on the bar and hot potatoes with a pint. Yeah, come in and let's get down to Three Bellends. Flipping funny. I'd rampack that pub. Yeah, and I imagine it's quite cheap up there in Liverpool, isn't it? It seems to be cheaper for stuff as you further you go up north. Rebecca Bufton. Hi, darling. Anyone fancy a pint? Says Karen Campbell. Let's go. Peeps, live your lives. Stop worrying. Stop worrying. Stop panicking. Have a breath. Take a big, deep breath and think, I'm still alive. I'm out here. If you're taking your vitamin Ds and all your other supplements, you'll be just fine. Arnold Schwarzenegger himself. I watched him the other day on TikTok. I love TikTok. I am a TikToker. I love it. I'm TikToking away. And Arnold said he's starting to make this smoothie protein shake that he has. He threw in a whole egg with the shell. That's hardcore. Raw, by the way. He wasn't making no egg mayonnaise sandwich. He threw in a banana. He threw in some other bits and bobs and some almond milk, blitzed it all up. And he said, I've been to the gym today. He said, I'm using all the dumbbells, all the weight machines everyone else has done. He said, I don't wash my hands. He said, because I like to build a strong immune system. I'm like, Arnie knows. Arnie knows. Just watched a thingy yesterday about growth hormone, how to boost your growth hormones by 2,000%. So this guy in America, super lean, super fit. He said, you skip breakfast, you don't have breakfast. He said, you try and push your first meal of the day as late into the day as you can, 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. He said, and then you pack up eating by about 7 o'clock in the evening. You just eat between that window. He said, and it's intermittent fasting. He says, and what it does, it gets all the growth hormone going in your body. He said, it's better than any supplements or medication to get your growth hormone going. He said, you put your body into intermittent fasting. He said, and your growth hormone goes through the roof. So it's true. You do. When you fast, you'll get this. He said, and then once you've got to your 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you're just about to eat, he said, go and do a workout. He said, and then you'll feel it. He said, you'll feel the energy flying through your body with the growth hormone. Jimmy Smith. All right, gorgeous. How are you, son? Thanks for tuning in. We're on 53 minutes. I don't know where the time goes. Jim, we're just talking about Robert Dyas in Maidstone, an ironmonger's shop. All right. I used to have a dog called Ironmonger because when my mum kicked it, he always used to make a bolt for the door. So Robert Dyas refused my mate the other day entrance because he wouldn't wear a face nappy. And he wrote to Robert Dyas with a pre-action letter before court, and they've just sent him a check or whatever for 1,200 quid because they've discriminated against him. So let me tell you, fasting is great for you. Proper, it is. Yeah, I've been doing that for 6 years. Not that I knew about it. Just don't eat and only eat late. Yeah. Why not, Karen? Listen, that's what orangutans do. They only eat once a day. That's truth, isn't it? That's all they do. Not saying you're too pretty to be an orangutan. Where's that Saskia gone? Is she pissed off or is she still here? That makes sense. Fasting is great for you, says West Sussex. Beautiful part of the country, West Sussex. Rebecca Bufton. She's giving it lots of arts this morning. How are you, Rebecca? Long time no see. Hope you're doing all right and keeping up the good fight, Princess. What we're going to do, we're going to do an hour. And then I'm going to disappear. I'm going to go and have another cup of tea. But I thought I'd bring that refreshing news to you this morning, ladies and gentlemen, that my mate was rejected at the door and it's now just cost them. But the ramifications involved in that are immense because I guarantee you, if you go to Dyas in Maidstone today without a face mask on, they'll be going, come in, sir, come in, madam, come and help yourself. What do you want? Nice toaster? What's up, sir? We try to sell. Well, our profits are down. Well, what do you mean your profits are down? Yeah, people are suing us now for not wearing the face nappies. Yeah, it just cost us 1,200 livelies. You only need 5-6 people a day getting in there doing some of that. Oh, I'd be down there making a big stir at the door. All right, Robert Dyas, staff, how you doing? Yeah, I'm coming in, man. Where's your mask? Oh, you want to pull me up when I'm having a mask on? All right, then. Yeah, could I just take your name? Oh, okay. Yeah, cool. Ching, 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 ching. Letter, 1,200 quid. Come on, let's have it. You're going to have to go to work. Simon the Spaniard. I don't know if you know, ever followed a white rabbit on YouTube. Simon the Spaniard, ponytailed. He always goes, hola. A bit of Spanish in there. He is kind of Spanish, and I know Simon fairly well. Lives over there in Essex. He's suing loads at the minute for discrimination using the Equalities Act. He's having a right old living here, let me tell you. Why not? Because look, follow the money. Follow the money. You want to get anywhere in life, you want to work out why the police do what they do, the army, corporations, the pubs, the clubs, everyone. Just follow the money. You don't have to do anything else. You don't have to worry about who's causing it. Just follow the money. You follow the money, you'll find out why all this is going on. We can make some money for doing nothing. Great. Get out there, people. Say no more about it. I thought you'd like this one this morning. 3 minutes left to the top of the hour, ladies and gentlemen. You're so lucky. It's 10:10 Saturday. This year's pretty much gone. Just remember, by the time January comes, you're going to be wearing the face nappies for a whole year. And they reckon that by October 2021, you might be able to take them off. How's about that? So you'd have been wearing these face nappies for almost 2 years. Coronavirus, very profitable thing. I wouldn't mind betting that the coronavirus is floating on the stock market like Billio right now with everything it's selling, all these face masks, the adaptions, the bits and bobs you need for it to keep yourself safe. I imagine the condoms now are coming out, coronavirus protectors. You know, maybe put one on your nose and breathe into that. Maybe a big donkey condom. Yeah, I'd have to use a donkey condom on my face. My nose is too big. Kick them where it hurts. I'm glad I got up early now. Exactly. Where's Saskia? Has she disappeared? Saskia's done a runner, hasn't she? Bless her. Anyway, minute and a half. So, yeah, people, get out there. Have a bash. If anyone discriminates against you, whether you're on the underground, whether you're on the trains, just take a picture of them. Bomb, 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 bomb. Send off your pre-action letters. Just say, on such and such a day, such and such discriminated against me under the Equalities Act for not wearing as I'm exempt, blah, blah, blah. And they've used the discrimination against me within this act. I do intend to take this all the way and go to court because you can be fined up to £9,000 for this. And see what comes flying back on the wind, ladies and gentlemen. And I will, if I can, get the pre-action letter for you and bring that to you at some point. So, yeah, onwards and upwards, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning. We're just coming up at 59 minutes. Couldn't keep up. Karen Campbell, bless you, right. Rebecca Bufton, she's lying at home crying her eyes out. God bless you, love. Yeah, exactly, Karen. West Sussex, they got a bit of a private conversation going on there, but it don't matter because my little show for the hour this morning is pretty much over. I'm going to go and do some stuff. Yeah, remember, you're not alone, ladies and gentlemen. There's many people out there right now feeling the same way as you. You got no idea how many there are. There are so many people out there now that are waking up. I mean, really, really, really waking up. Nice one, brother. You're a good soul. Hope your day is as beautiful as you are. I'm off camping in the forest. Have a lovely day. Or you can't beat the forest, can you, for a nice little walk round, chill out and that? Yeah. Maybe if you've got your missus, yeah, I'm saying have a little like disappear in the woods, have a little kiss and a cuddle. Beautiful out there in nature. Anyway, peeps, I'm love you. I'm off. Thanks for showing up. Remember, Robert Dyas in Maidstone now feeling the heat. And get out there, get it done. I love you all. I'll see you all very soon.